Maggie, Amir, Yuna, and Cecilia. So thank you so much for being on the curriculum today. So it'll be a 2-hour curriculum, and we're just going to dive into really the ins and outs of what a agent goes through, the initial process, and how to really just jumpstart your career. Okay. Well, I'm going to share my computer because I do have a PowerPoint presentation with this, so bear with me here momentarily. Let me dive into it real quick. Share and enable. Screenshot stuff. Bear with me here, folks. Share. Okay. Do you guys see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So what does a successful agent do on an everyday process? So I think we touched a little bit on it last week, but here's the 2 components that you need: grow your business and run an efficient business. So part of growing a business, one is lead generate for buyers and sellers. That is probably the number one thing that you should be doing consistently every single day. If you talk to some of the top agents in our office, okay, they're going to tell you what is the number one source that they generate such consistent in their business is lead generating every day. Okay. Now, what is every day? Well, every day can be, 5 times out of the week, 3 times out of the week, 7 days out of the week. It all depends on what your expectations and what your goals are. If your goal is to hit 12 units of transactions this coming year in 2021, there has to be an initial plan and an execution. And ultimately, to get you to that level of closing consistent transaction, you're always lead generating every single time. Number 2, make seller listing presentations and get listings. I cannot stress the fact, folks, the importance of having a very concise listing presentation. Now, here at Keller Williams, we definitely have the marketing presentation that can help you generate a very compelling approach in how you navigate an appointment when you're going after a listing. Okay, we have the marketing here for you. Also, buyer presentation. I will provide you with a copy. Just do me a favor, send me an email requesting a copy of the buyer representation, which is considered like a loyalty agreement. That loyalty agreement gives you bullet points of what your duty and your responsibility would be for a buyer. And also it holds the buyer in a commitment and also loyal to you as well. Here's the thing that I've seen in my experience, and the experience that I've spoken with some of the producing agents in the office, is that they see more of an inconsistent with buyers. And I hate to say it, buyers are sometimes liars. Buyers are sometimes liars. And I'm going to really stress the fact on that, because you really need to know how to anchor, have very avenues of conversation to really engage a buyer, because they're so easily influenced by other agents. And I'll explain that in more details. I'm going to share some stories as well, what I call war stories. And these war stories have really just helped me align myself in ways that I probably would have end up leaving the industry because of the frustration and inconsistency that I had in the beginning part of my career. Number 4, you have to know your inventory. Preview real estate transactions, MLS. I think I stressed that fact as well. So these are the four components to grow your business, right? This is the consistency. Now let's dive into running an efficient business, okay? Marketing seller listings, showing buyer houses, negotiating contracts, transaction management to close, your vendor management, set goals, compliance and risk management, attending training and getting coach, managing your money. And we're going to talk and bullet point all these different categories as well. Now, growing your business and running a business has different sections. Setting weekly and daily objections, creating an accountability, and then ultimately recapping your ahas, your daily success and habits, okay? What are you doing on a consistent basis? The moment that you are dived into your real estate, what time does that start? Does it start at 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, whatever time frame? Now, I'm a true believer, and this is from my 23, 24 years of experience in speaking with mentors in the past, top mega agents as well. They always emphasize start early. Have you ever heard the phrase, the early worm catches, the worm? It is so true to its nature that, the earlier you start your lead generating, the more you'll get done. And this just shows the fact that if you have a very diligent approach in your business, you're going to see the end results and you're going to be in a better position than a lot of real estate agents. Now, we have the tools that are necessary to help you grow your business, but it also takes a discipline and an approach to really navigate that opportunity. And we're going to really dive in deep on how your time blocking and your schedule should look. Now, here's the proven fact. You're considered an independent contractor, so no one dictates the time you should start real estate. It doesn't tell you the time to stop real estate. It doesn't have a set time like a traditional job, right? A job. You set those parameters, you set those expectations, and you set the time frame that you want to see. Here's the thing. You got to be disciplined. You got to be willing to put all your energy and focus on your business. Because when you really put all the focus in your business, the end results will start showing. That's when you start seeing opportunities come your way. Okay. People do not decide their future, they decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. I'm going to repeat this one more time. People do not decide their futures, they decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. It's no difference than working out. If your goal is to run the marathon, let's say the Boston Marathon, which is what, 27.2 miles. You think that running the marathon doesn't take conditioning, doesn't take training? Or can you just say, today I'm just going to go and run 27 miles? Okay. You're probably not going to achieve the success that ultimately you would if you were dedicated and very prepared for the marathon. So this quote really resonates because absolutely, we cannot predict the future, but the decisions and the habits that you do on a daily basis will ultimately be your future. And that comes back to the commitment that is necessary on a daily basis. Folks, I hate to say this, but you got to lead generate every single day. You can talk to anyone that has been doing real estate and has been doing real estate in a consistent base will tell you the same. You're always out there looking for buyers, looking for sellers. Okay? There is no pill to that. It's a very systematic, common sense approach that unfortunately you're not like a billboard that says, hey, I'm in real estate, how can I help you? It doesn't work that way. Now, we definitely have the tools that can help you in achieving those goals. You got to take action. So I like this quote. An overview. What are the key activities that are needed to be on your calendar? Now, here's an example that should kind of help you on your daily, your weekly schedule. From 8 to 8:30, motivation building time, okay? We should all be doing some type of motivational mindset affirmations to get the day started for you. As soon as you wake up, 15 to 30 minutes should be a motivation about you and you only. Now, if you have a family, you have children, that means you probably have to wake up a little earlier to spend some quality time just on you. This is only you. And for most that do have children and have a significant other, you still take care of your priorities, but this is for you and ultimately to build the building blocks that are necessary to achieve the goals. If your goal, as I mentioned, is to really hit it hard in real estate, then I cannot stress and emphasize the importance of spending some quality time on yourself to re-engage your position and really discipline your habits. From 8:30 to 11:30, daily success habits, lead generation. There it is, folks, okay? There it is, and follow-ups. Obviously, you should take some time for lunch as well, okay? No difference than if you were working a 9 to 5 job, right? You need to take breaks, you need to take lunch, and then you got to go back to work and do what you need to do. The ones that are consistent in this business are the ones that are closing deals and making a career out of it. Each and every one on this call has to commit to it. Guess what? There's a button right next to you right now that you can say reset. 2020 is out, 2021 is in. Let's get on it and let's stay focused. 12:30 to 2:30, run the business activities. Your marketing, listing, reading, negotiating, contracting, attending trainings, okay? This should be part of your daily task and your daily schedule. From 2:30 to 4:30, grow the business activities, previewing real estate, making seller presentations, meeting, I can't even see that, bear with me, meeting your clients. Then from 4:30 to 5:30, review your calendar for tomorrow and make a success list, okay? You should be looking at your calendar on a daily basis and know what your schedule looks like on a daily, on a weekly, and also on a monthly. You should be scheduling as well any vacation time that you plan to be, because when it's on the calendar, it will come. If it's not on the calendar, it will never come. So having an approach and an ability to see it on the schedule, that'll help you navigate your day, your weekly, your monthly. And then from 5:30 to 9:30, obviously family time. Now this is an example, ladies and gentlemen. This is not concise to any of us, but it gives you a kind of a roadmap to really kind of see what your daily activities are. When you have a schedule, it helps you stay busy, but it also stays dedicated to what you want to get out of real estate. All right, sorry about that. Okay, if anyone is part of Sonia's PC program, if not, then I highly recommend that you do your 411 action goal worksheet, okay? You can download this through KW, and this actually gives you your annual goals, your monthly goals, and your weekly goals. Okay, you got to be very concise. You got to break them into segments. Just like if you are looking to do a certain unit, a certain GCI, your gross commission income, because that will dictate your production and volume. Okay, it's hard to gauge your volume, but it's easy to gauge units and then ultimately your GCI, because units, it's more tangible than volume, because you cannot determine when your next deal will come and whatever that price point will be. But if your goal is to do 12 transactions, that should be the minimum, ladies and gentlemen, the minimum that you should be doing in real estate. One, doing 12 transactions will set you at a 100% of your commission. Because based on the models, roughly around 3.7 million in value will get you 100% of your commission. So that all depends on what area you're focused on and what area price point. Because if you're servicing Riverside, San Bernardino County, the price points are a lot less than South Bay. There's a reason you came to South Bay, because one, of the surrounding area. Here, just here in Torrance, the south part of Torrance, you know, price points are in the $1 million now. If you were to focus here in South Bay, okay, which includes Torrance, Redondo Beach, Palos Verdes, San Pedro, Harbor City, Carson, Hermosa Beach, Manhattan Beach, El Segundo, Hawthorne, Gardena. Those are all the surrounding areas of South Bay. The price points are ridiculous. So you can camp faster in this area than you would if you were to branch out of the South Bay. So focus on your area. There's no need for you to go out of the area because there's plenty of business here, folks. Now you'll service your clients, you know, wherever they choose to, but you should be always focused on your farm. If that's a specific city, a specific zip code, a specific area of focus, like, you know, Torrance is a prime example. There's certain areas of Torrance, you know, you got the south, you got the west, you got the north part of Torrance. Whatever area you want to focus on is the area you should be consistently farming, because that's where you start seeing the end results of business coming your way. But the 411 action goal is a very simple form that just breaks down your accountability and your efforts to see the results. You know, it starts with, what is your annual goals? And it can be business and also personal, folks, but you gotta write it down. Then once you do your annual, break it down into your monthly. What do you want to see in your first 30 days? Then from there, break it even more. What are your goals on a weekly basis? Okay. And when you break it down, now you break it into your weekly entry goals. And now you have a more systematic approach on what your goal will be when you reflect back next year in December 2021. And now we're focusing, looking at 2022. So everyone should commit to doing their 411. Okay, hold yourself accountable to that, because it's a very important document. Because when you see this and you reflect on this and you go back and realize, oh my gosh, you know what? Everything that I put on my action plan came to be. I'll share something that happened to me many years ago, that this had nothing to do with real estate. I had a friend who believed in a vision and putting it down. So she created these 3x5 cards for me, and she gave me a stack of 15 cards. This was probably 1996. And she says, whatever you want to achieve, write it down. And I said, you know what? Why do I need to do that? But we committed to do it and we started writing down the stuff. I wrote 10 things that I wanted to see happen to me on a personal and also on in a career path as well. I didn't think about it. I put them away. They were stored in a box. And years later, I happened to find those 3x5 cards. And to my surprise, I was taken back because everything that I wrote on those 3x5 cards, 90% of it I had already accomplished. I was so blown away that even though I didn't look at it on a regular basis, I wrote them down. And some of them took me a little longer than others, but I was so taken back that what I had wrote on these 3x5 cards became a reality. And I was able to do so. And one was getting a real estate license, starting a career in real estate, buying a vehicle of my choice, going on vacation, getting certified in scuba diving was one of them. And all that came to be. You know, there was just one goal that I still hadn't accomplished, and that was to be a pilot. I wanted to fly planes. I wanted to fly planes. That was my ultimate dream, was as a kid to be able to fly planes. And ironically, in 2006, I actually started taking flight lessons. And it was such a wild experience that I was able to start. And I think if I look at my log, I had already built up about 12 hours of flight time. I had completed my ground school and I was at the verge of getting my private pilot license. Unfortunately, I couldn't continue because of the 2008 market crash. Financially, I just couldn't afford it anymore. But it's something that still is in the back of my mind, even though I'm a lot older. You know, I still believe that one day I will get my PPL, which is your private pilot license. So stay focused on that, folks. Get something, write it down. If any of you have taken Bold is a prime example that they make you actually write your goals. And then they make you send it out to Austin, Texas, and a year later, they'll send that back to you. And whatever you wrote on your goals the year prior, you'll be surprised at what you have accomplished. So what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, is put it in writing. Put it in writing. Any thoughts or questions regarding that? Okay, let's continue. Commitment to your 80-20 principle rule. This is a pattern of imbalance in life. It is called the 80-20 principle. 20% of your efforts results of 80%. Make more money, time with family, be more organized. Okay, so that goes with anything. If you are putting 20% effort into your business, guess what? 80% will come. Think about that. 80% will come from just 20% of effort. If your commitment is to go out and prospect, pick up the phone, hit your database, hit your sphere of influence, hit local businesses, speak with your family, colleagues, friends, people that you have some type of relationship, like, you know, even your doctor, your dentist. Don't be afraid. Ask for business. I remember many, many, many years ago, this was probably 2001, I had braces. I had braces as an adult. And my doctor at the time was in La Habra, and I had a real estate license. And we had such a phenomenal connection because I would see him on a monthly basis for 3 years. Not just that I had another doctor that actually did the cleaning and everything, but he was the one that specialized on my braces. So he was a young doctor that took over the existing dentist's office there from a gentleman that probably was there 40 years. He retired. He had just graduated about maybe a year, 2 years earlier. So he was actually buying this dentist's office in La Habra. And we built such a phenomenal relationship that ultimately he was still renting and helped him buy a home out in Corona. And from that, folks, I was able to help his sister, who then eventually graduated and also became a dentist. I helped her also buy a place out in the Inland Empire. And then when his parents were coming from out of the country, he said he wanted to have close to his office. So he asked me to help him buy a second home closer to home, and I helped him buy a place out in Fullerton. And that price point at the time was about an $800,000 price point in Fullerton, a very desirable part of Fullerton. Then he gave me the opportunity to sell his Corona property because now he wanted to buy another property in Fullerton. And this is, again, a relationship that I was able to build from just having a conversation with someone and asking for business, because he knew that I was in real estate and I was not afraid to ask for business. Now, my efforts weren't that hard. I just had a conversation with him. And because of that, that led the opportunity for me to help him buy his first home. That led to me helping his sister buy a home. That altered and helped him buy a second home, and then finally a third home. Okay. So what are your efforts? What are you doing to earn business, folks? Okay, think about that. Your commitment should be 80-20. 80-20, and 20% of that should be the efforts, and you'll see the end results to it. You all want to make money, right? Say yes. All right. So how do we get there? How do we make money? You got to go out there and find business. Got to find business. Set your objectives. Okay, so let's dive in really deep on this. Here's a breakdown of a diagram that kind of gives you a metric systematic approach. Your time, identifying, attaining, and your purpose. When you set your expectations, you know, it'll definitely help you achieve your goals, because everything that we do in real estate is about achieving your goals and supplying and supplementing additional income for you. If you have already a full-time job, or if you're going to dive into this 110% and do this as a full-time job, you got to set your objectives. Translate your weekly goals into your daily habits, okay? And that's a commitment, and that's, again, a position that you need to do to see your results. I cannot stress the fact, folks, okay? The technology is great. The tools are great. The contracts are defined to protect you and your clients are great, but the ability to go out and find business is sometimes very challenging. But once you do it on a consistent base, it'll become like a cruise control in your business. Because eventually what happens is like a snowball effect. Your clients that you've helped buy a home, sell a home, or an investment property will come back and seek you as long as you're still connected to them regularly. And we're going to talk a little bit about how referral-based business works, because a lot of your top agents in this industry rely and are so heavily in their referral-based business. Now, does that mean that you should only focus on your referrals? No. That's just a percentage of business that'll come your way, because you just never know when they're ready to buy again or sell. You should consistently be looking for new opportunities and new business coming your way. But keep your past clients very close, because once you check out from your past clients, out of sight, out of mind, right? Have you ever heard that saying? There's a lot of competition in our industry, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want to be in the forefront of that, or you just want to be another agent? I want to service my clients, right? And if you did a phenomenal job and that experience was great for your buyer or your seller or your investor, that is future business for you, ladies and gentlemen. That's what sets your life as a professional realtor. And still do what you need to do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, on a yearly basis. You do all that, but you still want to take care of the people that you have already helped. And that's where you see a lot of your past clients send you business. Either they're ready to buy again, they're ready to sell, or they have family or friends. And it's okay to reach out to them and check in with them. It has nothing to do with real estate conversation, just checking in. Hey, Yolanda, I know it's been a while. I've been thinking about you, and I just wanted to check in with you. How's the family? Blah, 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 blah. Phenomenal. You know, by the way, I'm still here at Keller Williams. You know, we had a phenomenal experience when I helped you buy that beautiful house out in Torrance. So just wanted to also let you know that I'm still here for you, any friends, family, or anyone that you know that I can be of service to. Bam. You just re-engaged, you reconnected with that past client, folks. And guess what? Business will come your way again. So make an effort, have your database. This is why it's crucial that you have your database in place. Command is a prime example. That's your virtual assistant that helps you run an efficient business. You want to run an efficient business, right? Or do you want to be all over the place? No. Look at some of the top organizations out there. Okay, your Nikes, your Costco's, your Ford, your Chevy, you know, they have a very systematic approach that is consistently running. And that's why they see volumes of production and revenue. You are a business, you're a CEO of your own organization. Act like it, be like it. You have the umbrella of Keller Williams that helps you. All the necessary tools are there. Your websites, your business, your landing pages, your smart plans. Take full of what you have. Take it all, absorb it all. Play with the systems. There's trainings. There's education on everything that we provide you. There's YouTube videos and how. We also have Scott Leroy that'll give you the training videos to help you use the system. Leverage yourself, ladies and gentlemen, with command, because that's a portion that can bring you business as well. More so now than ever, social presence is crucial and it's very necessary because that's going to drive business as well. I'm still very old school, very traditional way of doing. I still believe in the face-to-face interaction. And how can we do that with the pandemic? Zoom calls. You can do a free account and it allows you 40 minutes to have a conversation with someone. You have smartphones that allow you to do FaceTime. There's text, there's emails, there's pick up the phone and make that call. But social media is very important in your business because that's what's going to attract more likes and more opportunities for you to connect with someone. So how does your breakdown look on a weekly basis? Okay. What are you doing on a daily basis, a weekly basis, on a monthly basis? And I'm going to stress and emphasize this a lot because you need to have a consistent position to really see the end results. I want all of you to succeed. I want to see you all produce. You, in my eyes, are cappers. I'm pouring it into you that each and every one of you are cappers. What does that mean? That means once you pay company dollars, you're at 100% of your commission. We lose, you gain. It's not fun, but we want you to achieve that and have it on a consistent basis. Because once you see the end results, you're going to want more of it. I got to get to 100%. I got to get to 100%. If you believe in it, it will come. And the beauty is it's very tangible, ladies and gentlemen, very tangible. Okay. Do a couple transactions, you're there. You're there. All right. Time blocking. All right, so we're now putting it all together, right? We're putting it all together. Time blocking. Put your big rocks in your calendar. How many have a Google Calendar or some type of platform that allows you to see your daily schedule? If you don't, I stress the fact, do so now. Google Calendar is probably one of the best ones. Command has one too, but I like Google because it provides you with color coordinated position where you can actually put colors such as green. What does green mean to you? Money, 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 money. Yeah, money. So anything that's related to bringing you money, then you put it on the calendar under green. Anything that is high priority, you put it under red. Any vacation that you want, pick your favorite color that resonates. Vacation, maybe blue for the Caribbeans. I don't know. But once you color coordinate your schedule, you don't necessarily have to see what the daily schedule, but you'll have a good understanding. Okay, red is a priority. It must be taken care of today or sometime this week. Green means it's something to do with lead generation, your business, your appointments, your escrows, your closings, your inspections, your appraisals. When we get the fortunate to do open houses, that can be green. Anything that generates money. Anything that has to do with family time, okay? One of the components that I stress the fact for the agents that have significant others or children, spending time block that as well. Time block dating as well, okay? Because real estate is not a 9-to-5 job, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to say it. It's not like you can come in at 9 o'clock and then be done by 5 o'clock. Once you have leveraged yourself, highly leveraged yourself, then you can do that. You know, when you're running a phenomenal structured business, then you can take back some time because it's running. That's where that book, the Real Estate Millionaire book, comes into play, because it helps you net a million. But how do you do that is by understanding the models and systems that allow you to eventually back off and let your business continue, by building a team, building buyer specialists, having an administrator that handles your transactions. You have the core already. We have lenders in-house. We have our escrow in-house. We have our TC in-house. And then you as a professional, your core people are here. Your program, which is the command program, is there. Your website is there. Plug in, and that's where you're going to see the big results from your business. But I definitely have to emphasize and stress the fact, you got a time block. You got a time block, okay? If you're going to be doing lead generation, and I can speak from seeing some of our agents in our office. One in particular is Bob Walaka, who's been one of the instructors. He is in the office every day in time blocks and makes calls. Another agent, Gary Nix, is here consistently, time blocks, and make calls. Now, Gary hits his database where Bob hits future business, either expired listings for sale by owners, or sometimes past clients as well. How cool would it be is you pick up the phone for the first time on an expired listing. 5 minutes into the conversation, the seller says, yeah, I'll meet with you. Wow, right? Holy cow. I just have a listing appointment from a 2 to 5 minute conversation having on an expired listing. Does that happen? Everyone say yes, it happens. It doesn't happen quite often, but you may be that lottery winner that it happens to happen to you, where as soon as you pick up that call and hit an expired seller, and the seller is connected and engaged in your conversation, and now you have a listing appointment. That's a good day. But that's still in the beginning stages. You still got to mentally prepare, right? Mentally, physically prepare, and be ready. I've explained the 3 things that must happen in your real estate career, right? I've talked about this many times, is you got to understand contracts, you got to understand negotiations, and you got to understand objection handlers. Objection handlers, because these are the 3 building blocks that will help you achieve success. Because once you can navigate a contract, if it's a listing agreement, if it's disclosures, if it's a purchase agreement, understanding the fundamentals of what it does for you and the benefit of your client, it's a win. Drafting that listing agreement, executing the listing agreement that the seller has signed off and giving you the authorization to sell their home. Or the buyer allowing you to represent them on the purchase of their home, and knowing how to draft the purchase agreement effectively and proficient, and be able to have the conversations of how and why these forms are utilized, because that builds the confidence, that builds the momentum, that allows you to be more efficient and gives you more ability to help more people. Why? Because now it's not a roadblock, because you know how to quickly draft a listing agreement, a purchase agreement, disclosures. Now leverage yourself too, ladies and gentlemen. Once you open escrow, utilize our transaction coordinator, Chris O. Chris O has been in that role for many, 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 many years. And she's a support factor for you. She understands the dynamics of the process and helps you get to the finish line. But those are the three things that you need to know, and is something that you should be putting in your time blocking. You know, in between the time you wake up, your affirmations, your motivational, your exercise, even drinking a glass of water to get the immune system nourished, to get the body moving, going for a walk, to get the blood flowing, whatever it takes. It's no difference than starting a vehicle. Now, I've mentioned in the past, and I don't know if I mentioned it to this group, it's like a vehicle. The oil is in the oil pan. It's not in the engine. The oil is to lubricate the metal pistons to allow the vehicle to go. But when you start the vehicle, you rev it, it's not helping, because in the first moments of igniting the engine, there's friction. And friction eventually leads to cracks, and then it leads to the engine failing. You got to start the vehicle, let it idle for a few minutes, and then you can go. No difference in us. You don't just get up and you take off running or start doing 100 push-ups or sit-ups. You need to stretch, right? You need to hydrate, right? You need to be in the right mindset, right? Well, that goes to your business too. You can't just go and hit a $10 million listing if you're not mentally prepared for it, right? But what if you were going on a $10 million listing? Will you be really mentally, physically prepared for it? I want to say that you are. I want to say that you've done everything necessary to really prepare for this appointment. What if there was an opportunity for you to get a $10 million listing? Is that tangible? Is that being realistic? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Especially some areas here in the South Bay, up in PV. On the other side, there's $5 to $8 million properties. I think I saw one for 12 million. You know, so the properties are here. You're in a good area, folks, because let's do the math on a $10 million listing. And let's just say that you get a total commission of 5%. 2.5 to the list side, which is you, and 2.5 to the buy side, which is you too. You represent the buyer too. Wow. Who can do the math for me? 10 million times 2.5%. Who can tell me what the commission will be?
250,000.
On a 10 million, 2.5%, that's 250,000.
Oh, wait a minute.
I think you're right.
I think so, yeah.
I think I was right.
You imagine you get a listing that is worth $10 million and you represent the seller, you just made $250,000. Some people don't even make $250,000 in 1 year. You got professionals, doctors, attorneys that are making that type of money. You made it in one transaction, 30 to 45 days. But what if you represented the buyer too? So the math is 250 and 250 is what?
500,000.
Wow. I want you to all do this. This is going to be your homework assignment, folks. Okay? This is going to be your homework assignment today. And I want you to email me this work assignment, okay? It's not a big thing, but this is what I want you to do. For the ones that have the MLS, and if you don't have it, then just email me, say, Simon, I don't have access to the email, the MLS. I believe everyone has the MLS, right? Everyone has the MLS, I'm hoping. Okay, what I want you to do is look up on the MLS properties that are 10 million and above. Okay, so you're going to go on the multiple listing service, and then you're going to type in 10 million and then put a plus sign right after the last digit. So 10 million is the base, and then the plus sign will give you anything above 10 million. And pick a specific area. I don't care where it's at. If it's Beverly Hills, if it's the West Side, if it's Brentwood, if it's here in the coastal area, just pop up a 10 million plus transaction, and then scroll all the way down and see what the commission is. And then believe that it's you, that this is your listing, and that you are guaranteed a commission based on that. We got to be dreamers. You got to dream, because I believe that all of us got our real estate license because we believed in that dream of making phenomenal money. And this is one of the best careers to do so. The best careers to do so is to really generate substantial income. Think about it. On a $10 million price point, 2.5%, that is $250,000. You represent the buyer on this, you're looking at a whopping $500,000, one transaction, 30 days from today. How much more is that going to help you and your family this year? I better not hear that you're saying, well, I think I'll stop doing real estate for the year now. I got plenty of money. Don't say that. Don't say that. Now you have a business that you can really run efficient because you have money to market yourself and really hit to that $1 million price point where you can net $1 million. There's agents in our community that are hitting the 7-figure income. Literally. I want you to be that. I believe in each and every one of you on this call. All of you. I have faith in you. Okay? I have faith on everyone on this call. The question here, folks, do you have faith? Do you have faith? And the answer is, yes, I do. I better hear it. I better hear that all of you have the faith that you will be successful in this. Okay? And I'm speaking that into existence, okay? Because there's agents that are definitely crushing it in this industry, and I want you to be part of that. I cannot promise you that you're going to get a $10 million listing, but I can promise you if you stay dedicated into your business, you'll see the end result to it, okay? So that's going to be your homework assignment. And basically just email me saying, hey, you know what, Simon, I looked at one property, and just send me the address. to say this is a property that was $12 million, and then the commission was 2.5% to 3% or 2% or even 1%, who knows, whatever the case may be. But what I want you to think and what I want you to resonate is basically the potential that you can make in this industry. That's all. That's all. Because is what drives you. When you see other people that have the same qualifications like you do, the same license that you do, the same ability that you do, they're no different than any of us on this call, folks. They just have a desire, they've connected with the right people and have branched themselves to be able to get these mega listings. But they're no different than us. You got to take action. You got to stay committed. You got to prioritize your daily habits, and you got to stay consistent in it. That's where you're going to start seeing results. That can be the day in the life of an agent. This can be the day in your life of you, Max, Suli, Yolanda, Lynette, and the rest on the group. The question here is, are you committed? Are you dedicated? Are you willing to sacrifice whatever it takes to be that professional, producing entrepreneur? I say yes, I'm all in. The question is, are you all in? And the answer should be absolutely. Absolutely. So any questions regarding time blocking? Anything that you do differently that you like to share with the group? Any ideas? Anything that you see different that you like to share? Okay. What starts with time blocking, because that's what builds the big rocks and gives you the opportunity and the freedom. As I mentioned, you should time block family time, date time, and also vacation time as well. Okay. And I'll be the first to say, you know, I have my challenges too. I have my challenges too, you know, when it comes to time blocking as well. But when I have things in the calendar, I know what my next schedule, like today, this was thrown at me. I wasn't scheduled to teach the Ignite today. I didn't even mentally prepare for it, okay? I'm just going from some of the material that I have in front of me, so I apologize that I'm not coming across very polished today. I just didn't have the opportunity to really, study the material. So I'm using years of experience, wisdom, and just war stories that have happened to me. So I hope at the end of our training, you'll pick up some ideas and avenues of how you can approach your business. Okay. So let's continue. Now, creating the accountability, okay? So we talked about setting the weekly and the daily objectives, right? And we kind of explored the ahas to it. And then we also explored in growing an efficient business, right? Running an efficient business. But now let's talk about the accountability. And I think all of us need to have some type of accountability. Why? It's very simple. Let's say that you are trying to be an Olympic gold medalist, right? You think you're going to get to the level to be in the category of being eligible to be part of the Olympics? Probably not. If you really look at, pardon me one second. Hold on one second, guys. I gotta quickly answer this call. Hold on one second. Shoot. Never mind. I'll just call. Sorry. Sorry about that. It was my OP. So can you hear me? Can you still hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. There we go. So the importance of, like I said, you know, think about it, an Olympic. They usually start at a young age, right? And they work 5-7 days sometimes out of the week to be able to be eligible to get to participate in the Olympics, right? And the Olympics is not every year like basketball, football, baseball, soccer. It takes 4 years, right, for the next Olympic to be, and it can be anywhere around the world. But in order for that Olympic future competitor, there has to be a coach, a trainer, because you're not going to know how to flip and do all these training parameters of your ability. If it's, you know, running the track, skiing, wrestling, and part of the, you know, the what is the gym? What do they call the ladies that flip all over the place? I can't even remember. But you get my point. You get my point. The goal is to become a gold medalist, right? That's the ultimate goal. And look at of all the people that have reached but never got not even a silver or a bronze medal. And then look at the people that actually achieve the categories of those three, the bronze, the silver, and eventually the top, which is the gold medal. Someone helped them get to that level. Someone gave them the necessary guidance, the support, the accountability, the coaching, the inspiration, the ups and downs to get to that level. Because it's not just physically, it's also mentally to be prepared. No difference than what we do, ladies and gentlemen. Most of you are not in the position as of yet to get a coach, but eventually when you start bringing revenue from real estate transaction, I definitely encourage you to get a coach, okay? A coach who will give you the accountability, okay? Now, I'll be more than happy to have conversations with you as well, because I definitely have accountability with my top 20% of my agents, either via a Zoom or in person. Well, we go over some strategies, avenues on how to approach their business or filling in the gap. Now, most of you should be part of Sonia's productivity coaching, and that's what it's all about, is the accountability aspect of it. Okay, it's your homework assignment that you should be doing on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. Someone that's telling you if you're doing your activities, okay? And sometimes we just don't want to. It's uncomfortable. And you feel like, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to pick up the phone and start making calls. I don't know what to do, what to say. And what if they say yes to my question? Oh, shoot, what do I do next? Here's the thing, folks. You take it by the bull's horn and you go for it. You will make mistakes. You will make errors. But the support is here to guide you, support you. We are here as a support factor. You don't have to think that you're by yourself. You have a support team behind you. We are only a phone call, an email, a text message away. We have a legal department. We have an escrow department. We have a TC department. We have a PC department. We have our MCA department who handles the finances of the company and your commission if you have. There's different departments that handle different responsibility. We're all here as a support factor to you, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for you as a team leader as well. We have a broker too that has your best interest, that can help you navigate the actual transaction. So there's no reason why, Simon, I don't feel I'm getting any help. Baloney. You're not seeking the right department to help you. We cannot read your mind, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know what's going in your head. Bring it to our attention. If you bring it to my attention, I'll know who to address it to or who I should have you have a conversation, because they handle that department. That's how you run an efficient business. Hold on one second. Sorry. My battery on my computer looks like was going to run out, so I apologize. Man, just one thing after another today. Thanks for being patient, folks. I really, really appreciate you guys. You know, the good thing is Christmas is just around the corner too, so the blessings of the holidays is just upon us. So thank you for being patient, and I apologize. One thing after another just happening today. Has to happen while I'm conducting the curriculum. Wow. That's how polished I am, right? Gosh, how convincing am I going to be with the seller on a $10 million listing, right? I'm just being funny, folks. Okay, you got to laugh a little bit too. Okay, you can't take things so personal. Okay, that's what makes life so interesting, folks. Okay, you know, a lot of us have dealt with a lot this year, you know, with this pandemic. You know, you embrace it, right? You embrace it, but you just continue moving forward. Okay, you cannot dwell in the past. You cannot change the past. You can only do what's now and what the future holds. Okay, so going back to the accountability aspect of your business, folks. Okay, is knowing the accountability. It can be accountability amongst each other. You know, finding one of the agents here that you have a good connection with and saying, listen, let's do accountability for 15, 30 minutes and let's do role playing. Okay, meaning that you'll spend 15 minutes to 30 minutes of role playing. Objection handlers. I mentioned to you in the past that, you know, Keller Williams has scripts. We have scripts here that we can also provide you too as well. Seller scripts, buyer scripts, objection handler scripts, what to do, what to say. As I mentioned, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just got to follow the structure of what we have. Everything is the same. And I'll emphasize that because it's so true. And what I mean by that, folks, is very simple. If you're going on a $10 million listing, it is no difference than going on a $350,000 listing. It's the same process. It's the same paperwork. That's the beauty. Don't fear it because it's a high price point. The documentation, the process is always going to be the same. What is going to be different is the level of conversation. And believe it or not, when you hit a high price point, it's sometimes a lot easier to work with because they understand the process than someone that is buying their first home or even someone at a lower price point. Those conversations are going to be a lot different, but the process will always be the same. just because you have a 10 million or 15 million or a 5 million or even a $2 million listing, it's the same process. So take out of your head that you cannot service high price point and put into your head that I can handle high price point, because each and every one on this call, I believe that you can, because the process, once you understand the process, it's very simple. You just follow the process. It's like a roadmap. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been doing this for 24 years now. And back in the days, we used to have what was called a Thomas map book. I don't know if any of you, especially the younger group on the call, you probably don't know what a Thomas map book is, but it was literally a map, and it was broken into counties, and it was broken into grids. So in order for you to find a specific address, then you would go on the back of the index of the Thomas map book, and then you would find the actual street. And then that street will tell you what page you need to be in. And then you would go back into the page. And if that grid happens to be in between the two sheets, or if it was north, south, east, or west, then you had to flip the page, because you still needed to know, okay, I know where the property is located, but how do I get there from point A to point B, right? Or point Z, I should say. Then sometimes you would be flipping pages. Okay, so I'm here, I got to take this street, this freeway, exit here. And it was like literally you were going from one to another. That's how we used to navigate back in the days, folks, okay? Thank goodness for smartphones. Thank goodness for Google. Now the phones talk to us. In 2 minutes, turn right, and 2.5 miles, turn left. Your designation or your destination is to the left. It's to the right. So it doesn't take any rocket science anymore, folks. You know, that's the beauty, that, you know, we can be more efficient in our business, more diligent in our business, because we just have to listen or visualize where that vehicle is going, right, left, here and there. And what's so ironic, and it just blows me away, is it can tell you time frames too, right? They can tell you that it's going to take you 30 minutes to get from point A to point Z. It's going to tell you how many miles it's going to be. It also can navigate if there's any roadblocks, like if you use what's that app called? Waze? I think it's Waze.
Waze.
Oh, thank you, Waze. Waze is an incredible app that helps you. It tells you traffic conditions, accidents, roadblocks, police. You know, if for you that are Speedy Gonzalez out there running late to your next appointment, you know, that app helps you identify it. It's not all 100% accurate, but it definitely helps to make you slow down, because it'll give you alerts. Hey, police activity here, police activity coming near you. So it definitely helps. But again, the technology that has helped us achieve more efficient in our business, and that's just one of many. Look at the MLS. Believe me, when I started real estate, folks, 20-something years ago, we didn't have the MLS. What we had was an encyclopedia that was probably this thick that would come every week on Friday. And agents were like hyenas when the guys from the CRMLS would come with these massive encyclopedias. And that's what we knew what was active, pending, and had closed. So we would go in there and look.
Simon?
Oh, yes.
Do you think we're going to go back to driving with clients to see places?
That's a very good question. You know, it's really a discretion on your part. I foresee that it's not going to be the norm anymore. You know, where and I believe that a lot of agents don't even have their clients ride with them anymore. You know, I haven't seen that in quite some time. That's a very good question, by the way, because now with the new pandemic, you know, the uncertainty of exposing yourself to the coronavirus. Here's how I would approach that. Now, there's two ways to this. One, if the person is without a vehicle, right? You know, and I've had scenarios where some agents, unfortunately, have clients that either their vehicle is down, they only have one vehicle, and the significant other, the spouses are using it, and they want to really truly go see a property, then you have no choice but to pick up your clients. But I don't see that being the norm anymore. I think, you know, with technology, it has really set the standards in how we do business now, you know, because of now what we see is virtual tours, right? And on a virtual tour, you can literally see the ends, you can turn, you can do 180 to a 360-degree view of the property and navigate from one room to another room, right? So, you know, sometimes you don't necessarily have to go see the home until you actually get the property in escrow. But to answer your question, that's a very valid point, is do we foresee that we're going to have our clients in our vehicles? It's going to be a discretion. You know, it's going to be a discretion. I don't recommend it, especially right now because of the spike of coronavirus. We should be practicing, you know, safe distance, obviously wearing masks, but it's going to be a discretion to you. It's not a policy that doesn't allow you to ride with your clients and go preview homes, but it's going to be more of a discretion on your part. So that's
Okay.
how it works. Okay, I hope that was.
Yeah, my lease is coming up. So I was thinking, do I go bigger? Do I go smaller? But,
yeah, absolutely. So very good question, by the way, Suli. Thank you. All right, so going back to the accountability, you know, again, you know, having a coach, having a mentor, someone to really hold you by the hand and navigate the process. As I mentioned, the entire Keller Williams is here for your support. I mean, we throw you with so many different training sessions, classes. You know, you're probably in overload with so many things. And now as we transition the new broker will be providing you with contract classes, which is a definite plus. You know, having contract classes. When I was the broker, I would have them on a weekly basis consistently. And we would go through the do's and don'ts of every contract and we would break them down and dissect them. And sometimes it was boring, dry material, but it was necessary for you to get a good understanding on how the document, why it's used, why it's implemented, and why it's necessary. We're also going to have the attorneys come in and also, you know, speak on legal matters and also the do's and don'ts of contracts from a legal standpoint as well. So you can be very lean in your conversations because remember, at the end of the day, we do not give legal advice. We do not give taxation advice. That is not our job. That is not our responsibility. What is your responsibility? Is to put a buyer and a seller together, open escrow, close escrow, and get paid. That's it. Unfortunately, there's a lot of real estate agents that do things they shouldn't be doing, and this is why they get entangled in litigation. This is why they get entangled and file complaints against them because they're practicing something they shouldn't be. If you're not an attorney, you shouldn't be practicing legal matters in real estate. And if a question comes your way from a buyer or seller, you always revert them back. You should probably speak with an attorney. And the contracts define that very well. If your clients have any questions regarding anything that has to do with legal matter, they should be speaking with an attorney, okay? And that protects you from a potential claim, because if they say, well, Simon said, Simon says, touch your nose. Simon says, touch your ear. I just wanted to jab at you. But if Simon said, for us to take title this way, and then they take title this way, and then they get a tax increase on their property, who knows? Who do you think they're going to blame? Me, myself, and I. I think there was a song called Me, Myself, and I. But yeah, absolutely. They're going to blame someone. They're going to point fingers, and you are the one that had advised them on that. They're going to go after you and say, well, you told me, and now I got this substantial increase in my taxes. Or, let's say, God forbid, someone passes away and they took title in the wrong because you believe that that was the best approach, because you might have implemented on your own personal vesting or family members or transactions, and you've been able to get away with it. But hold on one second. Apologize. You don't want to be that agent that gets involved in a situation, a very sticky situation, okay? And if you don't know the answer, ladies and gentlemen, that's perfectly fine. You don't need to know the answer, okay? You don't need to know the answer. All you can do is very simple. Yona, that's a very good question. Thank you so much. I don't know the answer, but let me do a little bit of research on it and then get back to you. I'd rather be transparent that way than try to take the shortcut and think that I know the answer, and then it comes back to haunt me. And I've seen it firsthand, folks. As a previous broker, I understand the dynamics of situations. And I've seen things that unfortunately agents shouldn't be doing. And I just kind of just do this to myself, like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Okay. I've been very fortunate in my 23 years that I haven't, but only once got sued. I ended up winning the case because it was a ridiculous claim. That happened probably in 2001. But as a broker, I was sued all the time as a broker, because you're the broker of the company. Your license is hung with the corporation, and anytime there's a claim or dispute or a lawsuit, they always include the broker, the corporation, the company, and also the individual agent on that matter. So I was sued all the time, even though it wasn't me that they were suing, but because I was the broker of record, I was sued many times. And, in the years, I've been able to have that demeanor and that composure to be calm on it, because, oh my gosh, I just got sued. It's never fun, right? It's never fun to be sued. And I'm telling you, not from a position of fear, okay? I'm not here to put any fear in you, but we got to be very proactive in understanding, because it can happen to any of us. We get sued. When you do transactions and you do volumes of it, there may be a potential of disagreement, and there may be a claim, okay? You embrace it, you acknowledge it, and you take the necessary approach, and then we just deal with it together, okay? Now, here's the pros and cons to that, and I know I'm going a little off topic, but it really defines on the life of an agent, which is today's topic. which is the Ignite Spark 9 that it talks the life of an agent. And there may be a situation that may cause a potential claim. Don't fear it, okay? Don't stress over it. There's two differences in a real estate agents. Agents that are and work out of integrity, and then there's agents that take shortcuts and do not play by the right rules, do not hold themselves to the integrity and the ethics of why you became a real estate agent, or better known as a realtor. You know, all of you are realtors, so you're held to a higher standard. What does that mean? It means do not take shortcuts. And it's very easy in this line of work to take shortcuts. Okay, don't do it. Don't do it because of the money. No commission is worth your license. I'm going to repeat that. No commission is worth your license. Unfortunately, there's a lot of real estate agents that fall on the dark side and go after the money and think they'll get away with it. Be very, 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 very careful. Always follow the rules, follow the company policy, take the necessary training, and never do anything that you shouldn't be knowing. And you know if you're doing something wrong, okay? And I'll leave it with that. Now to a brighter side, the accountability, which is again a very important component. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. So now we're going to really just round it into the position. Oops, excuse me. Be accountable. So the accountability is an attitude and an approach. Accountability is a tool for your achieving results. And accountability is a dynamic cycle, not as a stat concept. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen. We start off with setting your goals, right? Which we talked about. Setting your goals, putting it in writing, doing your 411, and really defining what you want to see out of your real estate career. Then it goes into doing the key activities. What are the key activities? Lead generate, lead generate, lead generate, okay? You've got to be constantly lead generating, okay? You got to be out there looking for business. Business will not come your way. You got to go out there and find business, ask for business. Then after doing the key activities, you got to measure your results. What are your results? Everything that you do has to be measurable. Because if your commitment is to do 20 contacts per day, 5 days out of the week, right? Do the arithmetic on that. If you're committed to make and talk to 25 individuals 5 times out of the week, that's 125 contacts every week. 125 contacts. And what are contacts? These are actual conversational touches, meaning not leaving a message, not texting, but literally having a one-on-one conversation with someone that leads into a conversation of real estate, that leads into you helping someone. That's how you measure your results. Because if you're dedicated, your conversion rate should be pretty good. Because at 125 contacts every week, and let's just break it down even more, and we do that 125 times 4 times out of the month, that's 500 contacts per month. That's probably like one of our agents, Gary Nix. Gary Nix is probably doing about 500 contacts on a monthly basis, or probably even more. Every time I go upstairs to his office to check in, he's on the phone making and hitting his database. But this is the reason, he has so many open escrows. So how diligent are you in your business? It's a contact sport, ladies and gentlemen. The more contacts, the more opportunities. You're going to get more no's before you actually get a yes. I'm going to repeat that. You're going to get more no's before you get a yes. But when you get that yes, that's an exciting feeling. That's a momentum and a motivation that, okay, it's going to take me X, Y, and Z calls in order for me to get one appointment, one opportunity, one buyer, one seller, one investor. And then repeat. And then repeat. And then repeat again. Then from measuring your results, ladies and gentlemen, evaluate the process. Okay? Evaluate your process. What does that mean? Okay, well, the measures are there. I've committed to do 500 calls each and every month. Now let's evaluate our conversion. Out of those 500, how many buyers did I pick up? How many sellers did I pick up? How many investors did I pick up? And evaluate your conversion. Because if you know that if something is working, then you stick with it, right? You stick with it. If something is not working, then you modify it and do something else. But the more consistent that you are, the better results you're going to get. The more consistent that you are, the better results you're going to get. Then after evaluating, this is what I just mentioned, is making those adjustments, okay, tweaking, okay? And I'm going to give you a prime example. We all had our goals and our belief systems last year in 2019, all right? For most of us, it was 2020, right? That 2020 was going to be the best year for all of us. I knew that I had my goals and my expectations. And then guess what happens in 2020? The coronavirus. They shut us down. We are not considered essential business. We're on lockdown. We have curfews. We had riots. We had uncertainty. We had people that we probably knew, friends, family, that were impacted by this disease. We've had deaths. We had changes. Never did I think 2020 would be this way. And I go back to Kobe Bryant. All of you know who Kobe is, right? Gosh, I remember getting the news on my phone that Kobe's helicopter crashed. It was surreal. I couldn't believe it. Kobe, such a phenomenal, talented, young professional basketball player for the Los Angeles Lakers, who dedicated his commitment and had been with the Lakers since 96 or 97, won world championships with the Lakers, was working with one of the most phenomenal head coaches, Phil Jackson, who was also the head coach for Michael Jordan. And to his retirement as a young guy, 40, 41 years of age. But what was so heartbroken was the mere fact that the other individuals who passed away on that tragic morning, and one was her daughter. Then the spiral effects of the coronavirus. I mean, it's just crazy. I remember sending out an email to the entire office when I got the news about Kobe Bryant, you know, because I was a fan of the Lakers, and I was just compelled to send out an email, and I sent out this long email about, you know, our decisions and lives, our contributes, our legacies, but more so that we're not promised tomorrow. What you have is the now. You cannot change the past, but you can only do what is now. Live life to the fullest, be happy, don't worry, and do your very best. And then all the changes we all have experienced. I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to my staff. I'm grateful to the leadership. I'm grateful to the region. I'm grateful for international. And I'm grateful for my family. As we close 2020 and, you know, Christmas just upon us, New Year's just upon us, what are you grateful for? And having a balance in your life is very important, because that's what gives you the drive, the motivation to excel. You have to have a balance in life. And the balance is, you know, giving yourself some time for you as well. Because real estate is simple, but not easy. I'll repeat that question again. Real estate is simple, but not easy. And sometimes it's very stressful. And I'm just being real. I'm being very transparent with you. You want all your transactions to be as smooth as possible. And for the most part, they will be. Okay, but then you're going to have some hurdles, some challenges, some hiccups, some roadblocks, some walls that you'll hit. And it's knowing how to adapt to that, make adjustments, and figure out the win-win and thinking outside the box. That's simple, folks. That's simple. There's not one transaction that someone has experienced that someone hasn't been involved with. So you can throw whatever scenario, whatever issue or problem you have that I haven't heard or some of my staff haven't heard. So rest assured that you do have that support factor here to help you navigate through that process. But what I'm saying is you've got to give yourself some time as well, you know, and give gratitude, you know, for family, for friends, for anyone that you think that you need to give gratitude. And that'll give you opportunities and doors will open for you as well. So any questions regarding this diagram on setting your goals, setting the key activities, measuring those results, evaluating the process, and making adjustments? Okay, awesome. You guys are so awesome. You guys are so easy to work with. All right, accountability, creating a plan for accountability. All right, so let's talk about the three things that need to happen. One, share your goals. What are your long, your medium, and your short-term goals? Number two, plan your check-ins. How often do you need to check in? What methods of communication is ideal? And make a date when and where will you meet to check in. So the accountability is a very simple component that all of us need. For me as well, I have a coach. I have a weekly accountability with my coach, and my coach kicks my butt all the time, every week. You know, we go over numbers, we go over stats, we all go over different elements of running the market center. And sometimes it's just like a real eye opener in a process that I have to deal with on a weekly basis. And the commitment is 30-minute sessions. My accountability coaching session is on Wednesdays from 10:30 to 11 o'clock. It's a 30-minute, and he's right on. At 10:30, he calls me, and at 11 o'clock, we check out. And, you know, we're going 100 miles, you know, and how he can help me be a better team leader. But we go over some good, some bad, and some ugly. You know, we like the good stuff, right? We don't like to hear the bad stuff. But sometimes as part of your accountability, that's what helps you become better at what you do, folks, is someone telling you the truth. And when someone tells you the truth, it makes you realize, analyze, refocus, restructure, and dedicate to what you need to do. And that's perfectly fine. You cannot anticipate that if your commitment to travel to, let's say, New York City, right? From Los Angeles to New York City, that the roads that you originally planned to get there will happen. Because there's many elements to that. Congestion, roadblocks, snow, rain, weather, accidents, you know, things change, right? And what you believe was the direction, you might have to alter that and go in a different route, what we call rerouting yourself. Well, that's what accountability is, folks. It's no difference. No difference. Accountability is someone holding you accountable to your daily activities, your weekly activities, your quarterly, your monthly, your yearly activities. Because if you are not committed and you don't have the drive, you're going to slack off. You're not going to stay dedicated because no one is holding you accountable. So make an effort. We have close to 300 associates in our office. Make a commitment, and I know right now it's hard because of you know, the restrictions that we have. It's not like we used to have where, you know, agents would come in, especially our team meetings, right? Our sales meetings. You know, we would have them here in the office, and we would have them on Thursday at 10 o'clock, go 1 hour of our meeting, and then at 12 o'clock we had broker tour, where agents would go and look at the inventory. So that was something that we had here in the South Bay, which is very rare to see in other market areas. But here in the South Bay, there was a commitment on broker tour, basically looking at the inventory, any new upcoming listings that would come in, and it was just dedicated to the agents. I can't wait for that to happen because that brings unity to the agents, but it also reconnects the agents to get together. And a lot of us would go in carpool. We would, whoever had the larger vehicle, we would have 3 to 4 to 5 people on the vehicle, and then we would hit a list of properties that we wanted to see. And the agents that were facilitating the broker tour, these were listings that were about to hit on the market, were active just that day or in the few days prior. So it would give you an idea of what the inventory was. You get to see it firsthand. And that should be one of your responsibility, is to know your inventory, know your market. Because if you do happen to come across a buyer and is looking at a specific area, you can mentally remember, oh yeah, I remember Simon had a listing, or Suli had a listing, or Yona had a listing, or Yolanda had a listing over on 123 ABC, and I remember it was listed for $750. Let me do a little bit of research. You already know because you've seen it, physically seen it. That's what we used to have here on Thursdays, because Thursdays was Torrance Broker Tour. And it was a great time too, because guess what? They would feed the agents. They would literally feed us too. You know, we would go on tour, and that's where a lot of agents would just go, is to go get fed. So we knew the agents that were the ones that were really providing us with some good, yummy food. So we would always want to hit the yummy food. And not just that, just to connect with the agent, but you know, that gives you a rapport too, to exchange information with an opposing agent, because a lot of the agents were from other brokerages too, not just Keller Williams, but other agents from other brokerages. So it gives you a position to connect with another agent. And if you have that connection, guess what? They'll remember you. And when you do have a buyer that is interested in making an offer on one of their properties, you can always revert to and say, hey, Yolanda, this is Simon over at Keller Williams. I don't know if you remember me, but I was the individual with the beard on your listing that you did on Broker Tour. You know, thank you for lunch. Those Subway sandwiches were great. Oh yeah, Simon, I do remember you. Yeah, you were that Santa Claus looking guy. But in reality, you know, I build that connection, because if I made such an impact on Yolanda, she's going to remember me. So there's already some type of connection. And now I'm building that dialogue, because what am I trying to do? For some of you that were in negotiations, what did I say? I said, you want to get your foot in, right? Get that foot in, and then you go ninja once your foot is in, because now you've got your offer accepted. That's the connection that you want. So going back to the accountability and setting your goals, you know, you got to know, as I mentioned, your long-term goals. What is your long-term? I don't know. It could be 5-year long-term. It could be 3 years, or it can be 1 year. That may be a long-term for you, because you have a lot of little things that you want to accomplish by the end of the year. So having a focus, you know, a real focus on what you're wanting to do. That's one. Now, once you have all your goals and expectations, how often are you really looking and engaging in your goals? You got to look at your goals all the time, because you'll know if you're on target, you're behind, or you have surpassed your expectations. It's no difference than a pilot, okay? I'm going to do a scenario for you. It may not be the best scenario, but I'm going to throw it at you anyways. You're on a plane, you're in an airline, and you get from one of the flight attendants that the pilots have disappeared. Just play with me here, please, okay? Just play with me. You're in first class, and the pilots just disappeared. They're not there. And the flight attendant is telling anyone in the passengers, if they have any experience whatsoever, to be able to navigate and ultimately get to the destination or somewhere close to a destination to land the plane. And you're responsible for 150 people, including men, women, and children. The flight attendant is calm and collect, but is seeking anyone with some type of experience. And you don't have the experience to land a 747 Boeing that weighs probably 8 to 10 tons, that has 300 gallons of jet fuel. You're 35,000 feet above sea level, and you do not know any navigations or where you can land this plane, but you took the handle and you said, I will do it. I will do it. And then the flight attendant takes you to the cockpit, and all you see is the instrument panels, and you see the actual gears going like this, just moving. The plane is stabilized. The plane is still at 35,000 feet, but you're in the clouds somewhere and you have no indication where you're at. You jump on the captain's seat, which is the left seat. You're now the commanding pilot. You do not even have a first officer. This is all on you, folks. You are the responsible pilot that will navigate this plane in a safe manner and help everyone survive. So you're the captain in command. You're locked in. You're buckled up. You have a little bit of experience flying a Cessna plane, which is a small 172. You understand a little bit of the dynamics of the instrument panel. But now you're on there, and now you're having conversations with the tower, and you're saying, Mayday, Mayday, this is Simon. I've taken possession of the plane. We are missing the captain and the first officer. I've been in charge to take control. Need your guidance and your assistance. I have a pilot of 150 people. I need some guidance and support to land this plane safely. The tower comes back and says, we read you loud and clear. And then they start telling you what to do. Okay. They're going to get an experienced pilot to jump on the tower and start helping you navigate that plane. They're going to say, okay, Simon, tell me what is the altitude, tell me what the speed, tell me how much fuel you have. And I go through all the motions, and then they tell me, well, where's all this? There's so many buttons all over the place. Calm, Simon, calm down. Look to your right, look down. It should be a red and a green indicator that tells you your altitude. Tell me what the number says. Got it. Okay. Tell me the speed. It's the gauge right next to it. Got it. I want you to go to the level that's just on top, turn the knob to 275 degrees. Got it. You're gonna feel the plane tweak a little bit. And now the plane from stabilized at 35,000 starts doing this, starts pitching and turning. Now I want you to put the GPS to this, because we're gonna land you at this airport, which is only 7 miles away. Got it, boom. So now the plane is pitching, turning, and turning to the designated airport. Simon, the airport is in an emergency standby. all planes in all the area are gone. You have the entire airport to you and the passengers. Don't worry. Listen to my instructions. We're going to be fine. I'm over here sweating and I'm like intense. My heartbeat is just pumping. My heart is ready to explode. And I'm here holding it so tight. And I can hear people in the background shouting, screaming, "Oh my God, oh my God." But I am listening to the pilot and I'm following his instructions and I'm navigating. Simon, now start deaccelerating the speed from 300 miles per hour. We need you to bring it down a little bit. You're now 5 miles away. Do you see the runway? I return, I see the runway. Okay, I want you to go down a little bit in speed. I need you to pitch. I need you to tweak. I need you to do an angle. Now, do you see the lights in the airport? I do. Tell me what you see. I see red. Okay, Simon, red means you're too low. Raise the nose. Okay, I see green. Okay, you're too high. I need you to raise the nose down a bit. I see white. Okay, you're on final approach. That's what you need to see. If you see red, you got to pitch up. If you see green, you got to pitch down because you're too high. We got to land the plane as smoothly as possible. Roger that. Okay. Make sure that you stay on that line and then on that white light. If you see it go down to red, you pitch up. If you see it green, you pitch down. And then we're going to start lowering the speed. Got it. You're now at 3 miles. Are things looking bigger? Yes, but I feel like I'm going too fast. No problem. Start deaccelerating the speed. I also want you to push a button that is near your chair. It's a red button. You see it. I see a red button. What is that red button? That is the button that you're going to release the jet fuel that you have right now. We're going to dump everything. We're going to dump everything? Yes, we're going to dump all the fuel. I said, okay, but isn't that going to stop the plane? No, it's not. Okay, you're going to have plenty of fuel because there's always a reserve that stays in there. The rest we need to dump. Okay, we need to be as light, as lean as possible when we land this plane. Remember, this is an emergency. You are the captain in command of this plane, and we're going to do anything and everything to help you and support you and guide you to the landing strip. Roger that. Boom, I push the button, all the fuel, you can hear the fuel just coming out of the ailerons, the wings of the plane. Now I'm at 2 miles. Okay, now I need you to expand the wings to slow down the plane, and now I need you to hold on to both of the handles of the plane, because now we're going to start navigating. I need you to pitch a little bit, slow the plane a little bit, navigate a little bit, and just look at your gauge, okay? With still keeping your nose to the clear white light. If you see the red, pitch up. If you see the green, pitch down, but just stay consistent to what I'm saying. Roger that. Okay, I'm at 1 mile. Now the anxiety is there. Don't worry, Simon, we got you. Just stay in track to land this plane. Roger that. Now it's saying 500, 400, 300, 200, 100 feet. And now I can literally see the airport, the landing strip. I see everything. And they're telling me, Simon, just stay on it, stay on it, stay on it. You got this. Everything looks good. Pitch up just a bit, pitch up, pitch a little bit, slow down. And as soon as you land, I need you to press on this handle, and that's going to turn on your afterburners and reverse to slow the plane as you land the plane down and touch on the runway. Got it. So I'm getting the plane, boom. Now you're going 150 miles, apply, and I apply the reverse thrust. And I hear the force of the plane start slowing down. I need you to apply your foot to the pedals on the floor and start gauging it similar to like you would on the vehicle to slow down the plane. Got it. Okay. Leave your hands off the steering now. You don't need it. Now you're going to navigate your foot. This is your right. This is your left. But apply to slow down. Oh my gosh, it's still 100 miles. Keep doing, accelerate the thrust to slow down the plane. You're okay, you're fine. And then I finally stop. I see all the firefighters, police come to the plane. I hear cheering and people in the back applauding, saying, my gosh, we made it. You have successfully landed the plane and helped survive 150, including your staff, your flight attendants, on a remarkable landing that you were in control. So the whole motive to my reasoning of why I said this was to tell you, you got this. You have the support from all of us, that you got this. Don't worry. We will navigate it for you. Just do what you need to do, follow the regulations and the instructions, and take the initiative, take the handle. Because someone is there for you to support you. If it's the team leader, if it's the MCA, if it's our TC, if it's our lender, if it's our escrow, if it's our productivity coach, we got you. We're all here in the tower giving you instructions on how to navigate your business. Okay? I'm using it as a visual. Okay, for you to get an understanding that you have what it takes to be the phenomenal entrepreneur. You have it. So take it, run with it, and let's see some phenomenal results from you. Okay, so I needed to throw that at you. All right, so let's continue. So planning your check-in, how often do you need to check in? Well, obviously, the more you check in, and the method of communication is ideal. So do it on a daily basis, okay? When and where will you meet to check in? Okay, there goes the accountability aspect of it. You know, you check in with your productivity coach. If you are part of Sonia's PC program, is having a diligent conversation with her, because her goal is to hold you accountable. Her goal is to get you into production. Because when she puts you into production, the end result is to get you to be at 100% of your commission. That's what the ultimate goal, to be a consistent producing agent. Any questions? All right. So let's talk about the daily success habits and achieving your ahas, okay? Has your thinking changed? What ideas or mindsets were there new? Now, you know, the Ignite program has really redefined in your position to really help you grow as an individual. I remember the old traditional Ignite, it was a whole lot different. Now it's more about utilizing the systems, utilizing technology to really help you grow your business. But it really comes back to the mindset, folks. The mindset can alter your position on anything. If you put your mind to do something, and you stay devoted and dedicated to it, it will happen. Okay, so moving forward, let's change our way of thinking and let's stay very diligent and dedicated to your success. You have to have the heart to it, right? As the diagram says, you got to have the heart to it, because real estate can be very fun. It can also have some challenges as well. But you have to have the right mindset, and also you have to have the right place in your heart that you really truly want to achieve this. Let's go back to the $10 million listing that all of you will get, and the income potential that you can make from it. I want to make $250,000. The question is, do you? And the answer is yes, absolutely. It may not be one transaction at $250,000, but maybe it'll be 15 transactions that get you to $250,000. How much more would that impact you and your life and your significant others? Think about it. Thirdly, how would the behaviors change your way of thinking, the actions that are necessary? Because as much as your mindset, as much as your passion to it, it's the necessary steps, right, to get to that level, like a marathon runner, like an Olympian. You gotta press forward, put that needle moving forward, right? Gauge it. Because every step that you take forward is progression, right? Every step that you move forward is progression. And progression leads to action. And when the action happens, then the achievement is the end result. You have achieved your expectations, your goals. My gosh, I did it. I did 12 units of sale this year. Now, 2022, my goal is to do 18 transactions, 20 transactions, whatever the amount is. They have to be measurable, right? But going back, you have to have the right mindset, the heart to it, to take the initiative action. And then lastly is the tools that are necessary to get you there. I've already explained that you have all the tools, okay? You have a real estate license. You have the multiple listing service. You have the contracts, you have the Supra, you have Command, you have a PC coach, you have a broker, you have a legal department, you have a team leader, you have an MCA, we have a transaction coordinator. That's already 10 fingers that I pulled up. You have everything to run an efficient business. No excuses, ladies and gentlemen. None whatsoever. Take it, run with it, and let's see the results. I believe in you. The question is, do you believe in yourself? So the tools, models, and systems we'll definitely use. How will that make you more accountable, right? Well, you got to practice, right? You got to play, you got to plug and play, right? It's what we hear a lot, plug and play. It's like I grew up with Atari, Nintendo, right? Commander 64, if you want to go old school 1970s for the individuals, they probably saying, what are you talking about, Commander 64? But those were the games in my era that we used to play with. Now, what do we have? PlayStation and Xbox and computers and all these technology nowadays. But the moral of the story is, you know, are you plugging and playing with the systems? Are you playing with the MLS, navigating, getting an understanding on how the MLS works, how to do an efficient comparable market analysis, how to look up on property profiles, how to see active, how to see agents production. And then the additional tools that are part of that as well, such as outside MLS too. If you want to research properties up in Bakersfield, there's the website that you can go through our partnerships. And there's just other tools that you can use as well. Contracts, zip forms, the California Association of Realtors, the National Association of Realtors, our local association of realtors. All these associations provide you with your membership benefits. Take advantage, utilize everything that you have and run with it. Then you have, your contracts, right? Are you plugging and playing? Are you doing samples of it? Okay. As I mentioned, as our new broker gets more involved with our office, we're going to plug into his contract classes, what he sees, how he navigates, the risk factors of running a very clear, concise, very detailed purchase agreement, listing agreements, the do's and don'ts of it, because once you understand the contracts, then you know how to have conversations with your clients. And if they have any questions, because let's say you have a very analytical client, right? An engineer, for example, that reads every single page and now has questions. You got to be diligent in your position, right? You got to know if say throws something at you, how do you handle that conversation? Okay. And then obviously the Supra to be able to open up the homes. Okay. Goals and to set your career on fire. Okay. So bear with me here. I apologize. Here we are. So goals to set your career on fire: 10 contacts added, 10 conversations a day, 10 handwritten notes, and 10 home previews per week. Write this down, folks, okay? I mean, I'm not saying to be so anchored on this. It can be modified. You got to do some type of activity, okay? If you do no activity, then you're not going to see the results. I need to see some type of activity, folks. Okay, if it's 5 contacts added, if it's 3 contacts added, if it's 15, you got to add them. Conversation, as I mentioned, if you really want to see the performance and the results of your business, you got to have conversations on a daily basis. What is your commitment? How many calls are you going to commit to do? Is it 5? Is it 10? Is it 15? And if it is, whatever that amount is, stay dedicated to it. And don't sidetrack. Do it. Just like the commercial, just the Nike commercial, right? What is it? Just do it. Okay. Instead of saying just do it, just say just one more. Just one more contact onto my database. Just one more conversation this day before I head home. Just one more written note today. Just one more preview home this week. Just one more opportunity to connect with someone. Guess what? You'll see the end results. You want to see fire? Then let's fire you up. Scripts, okay? A very diligent agent falls into several categories. Okay, and you can hear it from top mega agents, producing agents. They have a system, and their system is on a regular basis. I mentioned in the very beginning of our lecture, lead generate, right? That needs to resonate. That needs to be your open presentation. I have to lead generate every single day. Start a music, start rapping. Think of a rap song that you can lead generate. I'm gonna lead generate today, every day, 5 days out of the day, boom, ba, 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 whatever it takes, right? All right, but we definitely have to lead generate, folks, okay? I'm being funny today because it's Friday. Uncover motivation, okay? All of us have some type of motivation, okay? Listen to motivational quotes, motivational videos. Go on YouTube. There's a lot of motivational. I listen to a lot of motivational speakers, but I also listen to a lot of motivation, like everyone knows The Rock, right? The Rock, the wrestler, the actor. But I like to follow The Rock because he's such a motivation for me, because he really knows how to set the fire high for me on his workout ethics, you know, and he has a humbling growing up experience that you think all these mega A-listers, celebrities got to the level where they're at, but no, a lot of them didn't have the means. A lot of them were not necessarily homeless, but somewhat homeless, but they were able to have the mindset and the attitude and their ability to get themselves out of that hole. You're in that hole, find an avenue to get out of the hole, to explore, to really get the end results of why you got a real estate license. Identifying the objections, closing the deals, okay? So these are parameters of scripts that you need to understand. How do we do scripts on lead generating? How do we motivate someone to work with us? How do we identify, those objection handlers from a buyer, from a seller? And then ultimately, how to script to close the deal. All of us are in the customer service. All of us are in the customer service, okay? Your customers are your buyers, your sellers. Speak in terms of the customer's understanding. Remember, customers are always, always right. For me and my staff, you are our customers. We work for you, and we're here dedicated for you, okay? And then last but not least, build the confidence, okay? I know I have the confidence. The question, do you? If you don't feel the confidence, I understand. Let's get you to that level of confidence. I've been where you are at, ladies and gentlemen. I've been there. I was a new agent. I did not know anything. I was clueless. I didn't know anything. But I kept pressing forward. I kept pushing myself, and I was able to build that confidence. We're not gonna role play, but again, going back, role playing is crucial and very important to do so. We may be starting something here at the office too. I might be doing a role playing session with anyone that wants to role play, and I'm thinking of doing it maybe around 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll do it via Zoom, and then eventually when we open up. But I think I need to have a commitment for people that want to role play, and we'll go through a series of different role plays. One of us will be an agent, one of us will be the buyer or the seller, or another agent, and we'll just do a 30-minute quick session of role playing. But very important that you practice role playing. That's how you get better and better at your profession. And obviously part of lead generation is, complying with the do not call list, okay? If someone that you end up calling says, I'm part of the do not call list, we have to honor and respect that, and we have to take them out of the list. If that happens and you do come across someone that is part of the do not call list, and they say, I'm registered, please take me off your list, do us a favor, okay? Send us an email on this individual that is on that do not list call, so that way we can send it out to all the agents to get them off their list, okay? Because it is a very hefty fine if we don't apply by the federal government commission on the do not call registry. Any questions on that? All right, so lead generating calling scripts, update contacts and follow-up scripts. We're going to bypass all this stuff. And then getting help, use command and connect to help. So the two components of which I get a lot of the videos is through KW Connect. So write this down, your command, which you should have access to command, and then KW Connect. That gives you all the material for all the classes that you can download into a PDF file, start a file for you, and every once in a while start downloading all the materials. If you want to know more about speaking with buyers, speaking with sellers, negotiations, marketing strategies, go into your KW command, and there's tons of wealth of information, YouTube videos to help you be more efficient. Obviously, we all want to create a successful list. The to-do, should-do, priority, and task. As I mentioned, the calendar is a prime example that you can use, right? You know, prioritize the green, the reds, the blues, the pinks, whatever you want, but that helps you identify your priorities on a daily basis. Okay, we're now going to do the survey, and that should conclude that. All right, so we survived. We did 2 hours of this, a little over 2 hours. Any ahas, any rocks, anything you guys like to share with the group?
Hi, Simon. This is Elise and Yona.
Hi, ladies.
Hello, everyone. Hi, how you doing? Yes. You know, we just wanted to share with everyone we're new agents, and you know, we have no experience at all on selling and being as a realtor because this is our second career. And through those, you know, 1 year that we experienced, we learned a lot through listening to you guys, you know, and Sonia. We learn, and as we learn, we take action. We do the things that, like, okay, they said we can do this, so we try our best. You know, we're very inexperienced. It's like, okay, we don't know what we're doing, but of course, through your guidance and, you know, everyone else are very helpful at, you know, at the office. Everyone, you know, from Holland to Natalie, everybody were there to help us. As soon as you ask questions, you get answers. And this really helps us through the time that we are selling and listing. So we are just so grateful. And we're just so happy that we belong to a, you know, a company, KW South Bay, that we are so blessed that it's just so much support. And we learned so much. And we are so grateful and thank you for all this.
Yeah, in addition to like what Elise just said, like, you know, it's true, like Simon, you said, like, don't be afraid, because like that's how we feel, right? We don't know what we are doing and things like that. But, you know, most of you guys here are probably newer than us. But then, you know, we understand like where we are all coming from. Like, we are afraid, we don't know what to do, but it's true, don't be afraid, because like, you know, you don't know things, but there are always somebody that knows that stuff. So we can all, like, you know, you guys so wonderful, and you know, support is so wonderful. So like Elise said, we want to thank you guys, and then like that's all we can say. It's a wonderful system and wonderful people we are surrounding.
Absolutely.
That's all.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ladies. Really, really means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's the core of what Keller Williams South Bay is all about, is a support factor, family oriented, you know, prior to COVID. But, you know, the future is open to opportunities, and rest assured that the guidance, the support is here for all of you. And these two phenomenal young ladies here have really set the standard pretty high. They've closed a couple of transactions. They have a phenomenal listing that they're in escrow now. and they're just following the rules. You know, will you make some errors and some mistakes? Yeah, but this is the reason that you can reach out to us, you know, and that's what helps you build that building confident block to do more. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to help spearhead and navigate this phenomenal organization, and with these fine people like yourselves here, because we wouldn't be able to do it without you. So thank you both. And that goes for all of you, all of you. Stay focused, stay dedicated, and the consistency in your business, you'll see the results. Because I want to see all of you in the first quarter in production, opening escrows, closing deals, and seeing the big results of why you got your real estate license. Okay, anyone else?
I think for me, if I can, for me today, my takeaway was just, I am a CEO of my own business, and that I have to commit to the 80-20 principle. I think that I tend to work harder and not smarter. And today I realized that as I was sitting here, I have to be more purposeful in my planning and my goal setting. And so that's, you know, for me, that was the big takeaway, is that I just have to be more purposeful in planning.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lynette, for sharing that. That is so important. And even though we know it, we have to hear it consistently. And don't be surprised, you know, the instructors that will continue teaching the courses, they'll probably say the same thing. I will continue saying the same thing, because that is what's necessary for you to succeed in this, when you hear it and it's instilled in you, and you know, just taking the handle on it. So thank you, Lynette. Awesome. Any other ahas?
I had one. So for me, it was really everything was very, very, you know, useful that you gave on today. But writing the vision, and those that are church folks or people of faith know about write the vision and make it plain, so that when you see it, you can run with the vision. So that's very important, to write out the vision, write out the goal, because if you don't have it, there's no guide.
Absolutely. Thank you, Yolanda. You're absolutely correct on that. Put it in writing, folks. Visualize it. All right, cool. Anyone else before we cut loose?
This was this was great. I love this Ignite. It really it tied so much together, put me way more on a better path towards what I need to do. It's really great.
Awesome. Thank you, Max. And I know sometimes I use some out of the wall stuff, you know, like the pilot situation, but I hope it kind of resonates a little bit of the accountability aspect of it, that, you know, someone is there for you. Someone is there to hold you by the hand and support you, is what I was trying to accomplish. And I hope it was in a way that was a way that you could understand it. But I definitely appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your dedication. Stay hungry, stay focused, stay dedicated, and let's open up 2021 with phenomenal goals and expectations. I see good things from all of you on this call, and when we're having conversations, I want to see all of you in production. Okay, we're here as a support factor. If I don't see or hear from you, have a wonderful Christmas and a very prosperous new year. Okay, enjoy your time with your family. I will be here next week, and then I'll be here the following week as well. So I'm here dedicated for you as well. So, all right, take care, and I will see you on the next one.
Thanks.
Alrighty, thank you, Simon.
Thank you,
Okay.
Simon.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you,
Happy
Simon.
holidays.
Happy holidays to
Happy
everyone.
holidays.
Happy holidays, guys.